Stats and facts to know that you can apply to fantasy football for 2023 if you want to play to win. Deshaun Watson has averaged 21 plus fantasy points per game in 4 out of 5 of his seasons played. He's had 2 seasons above 4,100 passing yards. Nick Chubb has averaged 5 plus yards per carry in all 5 seasons played. Keenan Allen, across his final 7 healthy games in 2022, averaged 10.71 targets, 7.86 receptions, 83 receiving yards, 0.57 touchdowns, and 19.7 fantasy points. Justin Herbert has finished number 2 for back-to-back seasons in both passing attempts and passing yards. Eric Bieniemy joins Washington as their new offensive coordinator from Kansas City. Last season in Kansas City, Jerick McKinnon caught 56 balls. Antonio Gibson has caught 46, 42, and 36 passes the last 3 seasons. Trevor Lawrence finished year 2 plus 28 completions, plus 472 passing yards, plus 16 total touchdowns, minus 9 interceptions, and plus 5.2 fantasy points per game compared to that rookie season. Calvin Ridley joins Trevor Lawrence, who has had a season of 143 targets, 1,374 receiving yards, and also had a double-digit touchdown season under his belt. Miles Sanders joins Carolina after finishing 2022 with career highs in rushing attempts and rushing yards and total touchdowns. Deonta Foreman and Christian McCaffrey vacate 298 rushing attempts from 2022 in Carolina. Marcus Mariota attempted 30 passes in 2 out of 13 games in 2022. Desmond Ridder attempted 30 passes in 2 out of 4. Drake London saw 11, 9, 8, and 8 targets in Ridder's 4 games and had games of 96 and 120 receiving yards. It was without Kyle Pitts, but they looked like they had chemistry. Dalton Schultz and Noah Brown vacate 163 targets in Dallas. Brandon Cooks joins Dallas, who has had 6 seasons of 114-plus targets and 6 seasons over 1,000 receiving yards. Dak averaged 37.3 passing attempts per game in 2021. Lamar Jackson has averaged 20-plus fantasy points for 4 straight seasons. He opened up 2022 with 2 of his first 3 games over 40 fantasy points. This is his best receiving core ever. Flowers, Bateman, OBJ, Andrews, Likely. Geno Smith finished 2022 top 10 in passing attempts, deep ball attempts, red zone attempts, passing yards, air yards, passing touchdowns, and QBR. DK and Lockett both finished with over 1,000 receiving yards, and then Seattle adds wide receiver 1 of the rookie class, Jackson Smith-Njigba, and pass-catching running back, Zach Charbonnet. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle both finished top 10 in yards after catch in 2022. Tua finished 2022 with 30.77% of his games with 300-plus passing yards. Of quarterbacks who played 10-plus games, only Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen had a higher percentage. Jerry Jeudy, in his last 7 games playing 50% plus of the snaps, averaged 19.37 fantasy points per game. Sean Payton is now the head coach who has worked with wide receivers like Michael Thomas, Brandon Cooks, and Marcus Colston. Lazard, Tunyon, and Cobb all vacate 217 targets from 2022 in Green Bay. They drafted Luke Musgrave and Jaden Reed in the 2nd round.